From the News Channel 5 network, this is SportsLine.
And there's SportsLine on your television. Steve Layman here with you. Glad you are here with us on this Wednesday night on News Channel 5 Plus. So much football on the horizon. Believe it or not, we are 8 days away from kickoff of the college football season. Tennessee State's the first team locally to kick things off. They will do that against Georgia State down in Atlanta next Thursday night. You've got Vanderbilt, Middle Tennessee on Saturday. Tennessee going down to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech Labor Day night. And, of course, then the Titans kicking off the regular season in a much-anticipated matchup against the Raiders on Sunday, September the 10th. Before that, though, preseason game number 3 coming up this Sunday over at Nissan Stadium against the Bears. Titans back to work this afternoon at St. Thomas Sports Park. And I do mean work. They got after it today. It was a spirited practice highlighted by the final team session of the day when the defensive players who were not on the field were hooping and hollering and trying to raise all the racket that they could and the noise that they could from the sideline. Try to get a little bit of that crowd atmosphere involved, I guess you might say, and intimidate the offense in what was basically a 3rd and long situation on the field. And Marcus Mariota hit Delanie Walker behind the defense for what would have been a touchdown if you ran it out to the length of the field. The offense exploded. They went nuts. Defense had to end up running a sprint because of that play. And that was kind of the cap-off of what was just a really intense, spirited practice as the guys got back to work. They worked on Monday. That was Eclipse Day. They had some fun, got a lot of work done as well. Then they had yesterday off, back to work today. And the unique thing here is we all know the 3rd preseason game. It's the one you pay the most attention to every year for every team because this is the game that the starters play the most. They're going to play at least the first half, and in most cases, they're going to go in, make a couple of halftime adjustments, and come out and have at least a drive in the 3rd quarter. So you get a little bit better feel from the 3rd preseason game than you do from any other preseason work, just because the starters are on the field longer. But the other thing about that, because you have those guys involved, coaches always look at the other team and they actually game plan for this game. You know, week 1 against the Jets, the Titans basically just rolled the footballs out there and said, let's go play. Last week against Carolina, just very loose work about tendencies and maybe some formations you might see, but that's about it. Against the Bears this week, they'll actually look at Chicago and what they're going to try and do offensively and defensively, and they will try to match up and exploit what they do, especially in the first half or over the first half and maybe partial part of a quarter there in the second half. They're going to try to get this team in the best position to have success and simulate what they need to do during the regular season. And so the week takes shape very much like a regular season week. You come in, you do red zone stuff one day, you do full field situation another day, 3rd downs another day. You do all those sort of things. And you build in your game plan for how you're going to attack the opponent. The unique thing this year for the Titans here on this is the game actually falls on Sunday. That doesn't happen all the time. You've got games tomorrow night. You've got some teams playing on Friday, more teams playing on Saturday. The Titans are one of the few teams that actually has a game on Sunday. And maybe even better than that, kickoff is at high noon. So it is your typical Sunday in the regular season. Titans playing a game at noon. And so it's a great opportunity for them, especially the young guys involved, to understand what a game week looks like. Practice today, come back tomorrow, work on a different phase of things. Come back on Friday, get into the red zone stuff. Walk through on Saturday, show up at the stadium early Sunday morning, kickoff at noon. And Mike Mularkey even emphasized that he hopes it's warm once again on Sunday. This has been a unseasonably cool, including today. It was a very pleasant afternoon at St. Thomas Sports Park. It's been an unseasonably cool training camp and preseason for the Titans. They got a couple of warm days last week against Carolina. The game on Saturday was really hot, low to mid 90s, triple-digit temperatures on the field. Mike Mularkey doesn't mind seeing that because the concern is you get to the regular season and all of a sudden that pops up against Oakland in week 1 or week 2 when you go to Jacksonville and you've got the heat and humidity of September in Florida that you have to deal with. So he hopes it's a scorcher on Sunday, and the guys have to get a little bit more acclimated to that. Anyway, it's a great week. It's a great setup for them in terms of what they're going to do this week. They're going to get some guys back. DeMarco Murray, in all likelihood, is going to get his first action of the preseason on Sunday. So you'll see split carries between him and Derrick Henry, who's been phenomenal so far in the preseason for the Titans. Tajay Sharp's going to be back. How much he plays remains to be seen and what work he can get done this week. But he should be on the field for the Titans. Rashard Matthews is back after being out last week with personal issues. He's back and in the fold. Corey Davis will not play. Their hopeful Eric Decker will return. So a lot of those weapons at the wide receiver position also back, and that's nice for Mariota to get the chemistry with them, get on the same page heading into the regular season. Defensively, Jarrell Casey, I talked to him today. He was chomping at the bit for the opportunity to get out there and play several series in a game after he was held out for precautionary reasons against Carolina. Defense should be at full strength, so you like to see that as well. Our phone lines are open tonight. 737-7767 is the number. Call us up. Be a part of the show. We'll hear from some of the Titans players coming up here tonight. We'll also hear from Vanderbilt coach Derek Mason about the Commodores, who get set for Middle Tennessee in a couple weeks, and John's satellite interview with Middle Tennessee coach Rick Stockstill from the Electric Power Company's Sunday Sports Central the other night, helping preview this season for the Blue Raiders and also their matchup against Vanderbilt September the 2nd down in the Borough. But we want to hear from you guys as well tonight. Love to have you call up and be a part of the show. 737-7767 again is our number. We'll take our first break. We'll come back and get to your phone calls and much more on the other side. You're watching SportsLine on News Channel 5+.